The element of surprise. You dummy, you're in a phone. I can't attack you with this. I have a Laguna Fusion 2 table saw, and I'm doing a review on it today. I want to go through the pros, the cons, would I buy it again, would I not, and this is not a sponsor video. I bought this with my own money. I'm doing the review on my own recognizance. I'm not getting any type of sponsorship because, I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. Which brings me to my next point before we get going. I'm giving away a free Festool domino joiner to a subscriber. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I want to do a drawing. So if you want a free Festool domino joiner or a chance to get one, subscribe to my channel. Like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell icon so when I post new content. Oh, and before I go to the next shot, thank you to all of those that have subscribed. The channel really bumped up in subscriptions and views lately. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all those that have been subscribed since the beginning and Lincoln stayed in there with me. And thank you to the new subscribers. Welcome. There's a lot of idiocracy happening on this channel, but we're all here to have fun. And anyway, thank you. I really appreciate the subscription. Fusion 2 table saw. Before we get going on the review, I will note that I have the older model Fusion 2 table saw. I bought it last year, but the only model they had in stock was this older model. So that being said, let's get into the unsolicited, honest tool review. Specifics before we get going on the review. Obviously, you need to know this is a 1.75 horsepower motor. It is running on 120, but you can hook it up to run on 230. I haven't done that yet in this small shop. I haven't really run new power. So anyway, let's get going. 175 horsepower motor, running on 120. Pro number one, it's an absolute monster. Even running on 120, I have not had an issue cutting wood. The only main issue I've had with it is the electricity in this place is not so great. I really need to do some updating or rewiring, I'm not sure. But I'm having issues pulling electricity. When I had it hooked up at my other shop, I had no issues whatsoever. So it is an absolute monster. I have ran sapele, I've ran poplar, I've ran maple, I ran red oak, which red oak typically gives me a lot of problems, but I have ran red oak through this absolute beast of a machine. No issues at all. Obviously, the blade plays a lot into it. You do need to keep some sharp blades on you. I just put a forest on it. I just invested into a forest blade. It's like 135 bucks. It's hard to spend the money, but it's a good blade. I'm pretty impressed with it. So, pro number one, it's an absolute monster. If you're looking to upgrade a table saw to get better performance, you're having issues kind of ripping wood down, or you really just want to step up from the basic box good, basic boy, basic shop boy, you basic boy table saw, this is a good one. I like it. It's a monster. So, I don't know if this is a pro or not. It's not really a pro, it's just a cool feature. They tout an anti-vibration top. Wedding ring. We'll put it right in the line of fire. Are you ready for this? Oh. That was the wind blowing the ring back. Anti-vibration, pretty cool feature. I don't know if it's a pro or not, but it's pretty slick. The next feature, and one of my most favorite things about this table saw, is the fence. That's my favorite and my least favorite. I'll talk about the favorite first, and we'll get into the cons. I'll talk about why it's my least favorite thing. But what I love about this fence is this part here adjusts where I can slide it back. Very handy for when I'm cutting multiple pieces to a length, that I don't have to worry about kickback or clamping a piece of wood so that I have a gap between my length and the blade itself. I love it. I cannot tell you how much I love this. Whoever came up with this, I hope they have a full and long-lasting life full of joy and prosperity. And so the next feature that I absolutely love about this saw is this plate. They make it to where an adult can actually fit their hands through here to work on this, to change the blade, to get the kerf knife out, to put in a dado stack. My hand very rarely gets hung up. I'd have to put in a full dado stack to really hang my hand up. The last saw I had was a rigid, and it was like, man, my hand got hung up and busted, knuckle buster like crazy. This one, not the case. Another thing I love about it, the side tool tray, pretty handy for keeping crap out of the way and organized. I've never used a miter gauge, so I cannot vouch for the accuracy of this one. I have an Incra, that's what I use, so I've never used it, but it's here, it's extra. The wrench to change the blades, there is a push stick that it came with. It's floating around here somewhere. I think it fell down earlier. I like having all the tools on one side out the way. Found it. So lastly, for the pros, these adjustments run, sorry about that, they run like butter, and they're fast too, especially adjusting the angle. Like 2 seconds, I'm at a 45. 1, 2, 3 seconds, I'm all the way back up to a 90. My rigid, or the last table saw I had, it took forever and it was so loud. These go like butter. So this isn't an in-depth review. That's going to do it for the pros. It's a beast. It's got some pretty cool features. The anti-vibration, the fence that adjusts on the side has a European style. The controls, the adjustment wheels, smooth as butter, and the side tool tray, pretty cool. It's a good saw. I really like the saw. But now it's time for the cons, and there's really two that I would take into consideration before buying this saw. So as I said earlier, the fence, one of my favorite features, which is this, and my least favorite part about this saw is also the fence. This moves way too easy on this end, and it has jeopardized a few cuts that I've made. Now luckily I was able to save that wood for other parts, but if you don't really clamp down on this side, so this is all the way down, there's still movement. I should not be able to move that. One thing to take into consideration, this fence is not the best fence. This fence could use some improvement. Now, I do know Shop Nation that he put a magnet on this side to keep it from budging. I'm going to switch this out for an Incra fence system eventually. It'll do for now, but if you're going to get this saw, you might want to look into upgrading the fence. And the only other con that I think is worth noting, if you know anything about Laguna Fusion 2 table saw, they have that overarm. You notice I don't have it. It's absolute garbage. It was garbage. I didn't want to say it, but I said it. And I'm going to show you why. You see right there, that little nipple that I taped up. That's where the overarm dust collection came out, went over, went up, went back over, and on top of the blade. That's a little 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 inch hole. You notice the dust collection hose, it's about 4 inches, okay? Inside of that coupling, where the nipple is, the 4 inches is immediately cut down to 2 inches to 2 1/2 inches, somewhere around there. I want to show you inside of the cabinet what I'm talking about. This is where the dust collection comes in at. On the other side of this is our 4-inch dust collection hose, but see how it's immediately cut down to, it's around 2 to 2 1/4 inch hose, okay? Dust collectors don't operate well when you do a fast transition like that. You need to step down the reduction. They did not do that with this port. I don't know about the new model, but this model, it immediately goes from a 4-inch to a 2 1/2 inch, and it completely reduces the efficiency of the dust collection. You'll notice a lot of dust in my cabinet. I clean this out every other week. There's nothing collecting the dust from the bottom of the cabinet. This is so inefficient at collecting dust, period. But I did try taking this out and running it with just the hole at the bottom, and it was even worse. So they hooked the top of this hose up to a housing underneath the blade that is supposed to, in theory, collect all the dust and go down here. Doesn't work like that. Because this hose, it would be better to be hooked up to a vacuum if you're going to go with a small hose, like a shop vac, rather than a dust collector. I, in the future, will put a 4-inch port right there and figure out some kind of way to hook up a 4-inch port right here if I could do that. That's one of the main drawbacks with this saw is the dust collection. So the cons, the fence needs to be improved and the dust collection is atrocious. Now, would that stop me from buying the saw? Absolutely not. It's a good saw. Would I buy it again? If I had the budget to buy a better saw, I would buy the better saw. That being said, I am very satisfied with the Laguna Fusion 2 table saw. You're not going to get a perfect saw. There's going to be dust collection, you're woodworking. There really shouldn't be issues with the fence. That's kind of inexcusable. But it is what it is. Upgrade the fence. If you're looking at getting this, just know you might want to upgrade the fence. You're definitely going to have to improve the dust collection. And so I hope that helped if you're looking at buying a Fusion 2 table saw. It wasn't an in-depth review. These are just issues that really stuck out to me. I want to set the tripod up. Sorry for the shakiness. So those are just the issues that I would take into consideration. A lot of pros, very few cons. They're kind of things to consider if you're going to buy it. But overall, great saw. I use the heck out of it, and it does pretty well. So I will close out with, I hope you liked the video. If you did, like, subscribe. We're trying to do content every week. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, like I said, I'm giving away a Festool Domino joiner. If you're already subscribed, you are in the drawing. If you're not subscribed, the way to get into the drawing is to subscribe. So subscribe, like, hit that bell icon, go binge watch my videos. There's some just absolute stupidity in almost every one of them. Pretty funny content. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a video on how you, as a woodworker, can save up the money to buy the tools that you want very quickly by a market I don't see a lot of woodworkers doing, but you have the expertise to do it. And I want to prove it by doing it, buying a Festool Domino joiner, and giving it to one of the subscribers. I'm going to pay the shipping, I'm going to buy the tool, and I'm going to leave it open for you to put your name on the warranty. It's a great tool to have. If you want a chance to have it for free, subscribe to my channel. And thank you again for all of those that subscribe, the ones that have been subscribed and the ones that have recently subscribed. I really appreciate the support. I got nothing else to say. One thing, if you have a small shop, I want to improve my clamp rack wall. If you have pretty good clamp storage, shoot me a photo, put it in the comments of your clamp storage and what you do. I'm not really doing a French cleat yet. I'm still debating whether or not I want to do that. I've had one before, but I don't know if I want to put it back. So I want to see what you guys do for clamp racks. Right now I can only fit 3 Bessie clamps per angle. I'm wanting to improve that and utilize the high space that I have on this side. So in the photos below, put a photo of your clamp rack. Whether you're in a small shop or a large shop, I want to get some ideas going in my head to improve this and make another video, which I will be putting out a lot of shop furniture videos here pretty soon. We're going to be putting something up above the tool wall, but I haven't decided what I want to put up there yet. So if you got any ideas on that, comment below. Keep it G-rated, right? I'll leave that one alone. Thank you for your support. Deuces.